Welcome everybody, good evening, I'm Cristian Romano and here we are for the second round of the Pro Series. Welcome in low fuel, 5 minutes until we have, actually 6 minutes, until we have a green light in our qualifying session. Welcome for this evening, we are about to start in a wonderful location. Quite honestly, it's in my opinion one of the best tracks all around. And quite frankly, it's also one of the hardest. We are in Bathurst, we are in Australia, we are on one of the most challenging tracks in the whole world, and technically a street circuit, because these streets are also used commonly by people living here. In fact, you have a couple of houses on the back straight that you can actually rent for your vacation, or maybe if you're lucky enough for the Bathurst races. Obviously, this is magical location used in V8 supercars. It is also used in the 12 hour of Bathurst, and it's a wonderful location for GT3, for the GT World Challenge in Australia. In fact, I think that was around just a short time ago. But in any case, 6.2 kilometers long. We have 3 different straights. The main straight, the mountain straight, which is 1.1 kilometers long, and the Conroe straight, which is 1.9 kilometers long. In terms of standings, we can get here quite quickly. Just give a second to OBS to... Thank you very much. Justin Stolberg won last race in front of George Boothby and Tobias Gronwald, then Fabrizio Campanella, Kevin Taddei, Eric Del Fante, Italian triplet, with Sasha Fartner, Luis Fleischer, Simone Seminara and Wilf Paduano completing your top 10. It was a wonderful race in GT4, and I think also I have the results here. Are you working? Well, there is a chance if OBS is kind. Okay, the video is working, but not the standings. Sometimes OBS really likes to be funny. Okay, for some reasons nothing is appearing, but we are in luck since round 1 is effectively the standings, so there isn't much to say about last race. It was with GT4s, especially with some Ginettas effectively ruling out the competition. Competition in which, as you can see here, we'll see, obviously it was the Ginetta considering it was a one-make race. This is the Pro Series in the CaseKing.de. And wait, there isn't the music, apologies. And the next time around it's going to be a double header with GT3s, with the top 15 being reversed in a second race at Paul Ricard on the 24th of April, just before going back to the GT3s. Only stand around with Kyalami and Barcelona, then Monza with another double header, same way as Paul Ricard. Then we have the Porsche Cup. We have back the GT3s at Silverstone, another double header, this time in Imola, and then Suzuka Nordschleife, the whole Nordschleife, and then finishing the season on the 26th of June with another double header in GT3 with the top 15 always reversed. So you go back to the standings. Yeah, apologies, the music wasn't on, so I deleted it by mistake. I will just show you the standings. As I said, only Ginettas, and for 1400 points for the winner, only 40 points ahead of George Boothby, and Gronwald just sits behind in 3rd place. This time around it's going to be only GT3s. Stand around, we have the usual 60-minute race, and as I said, qualifying will start in roughly 90 seconds. I've got to So, as I was speaking about the track, quite important hotspots are Griffin's Bend, turn 2, right-hander, which is more angular than a 90-degree corner. It's also banked, so you have the inside line, which is actually lower to the ground compared to the outside line. That's because you can aim an overtake on the outside. It's very difficult, but you can aim for it. And another hotspot is probably the whole dipper, not for an overtaking spot, but mostly because you have to survive to go to the finish line first, because it's the whole section from 11 to 17, just before first elbow, this part which is in the background just now, and it's quite usual for drivers to hit the wall in a light manner, but it's not really rare to see them hit the wall with a big bonk, which will kind of ruin the setup and the aerodynamic of the car. Welcome to Terriric 181. Welcome aboard. And now we are just waiting for a couple of seconds now that I have to connect my race control. Please don't break in half, which is always a bit of a 50-50 chance. It needs to happen. Also, you can see new graphics and a little addition, because C-Magic is now a proud sponsor of our channel. Obviously, the usual suspects are always there: Sync Mesh, Nitra Concept, ACC Drive, Go Setups, which also you have discount code in chat, kskin.de, which is a website on which you always want to make your purchases. And then C-Magic, you probably heard about them because of their experience in equipment for sim racing. You have a lot of choices for your upgrades. And speaking of upgrades, there is a new wheelbase, the Alpha Evo. So there is still time for it to be shipped away and to pre-order. But anyway, we are now in... Oh, there is a car already in the grass. That's not great, but lucky for them, I was still in studio. Let me just take my helicam and my broadcasting view, and now it should work. So we go back live. Here we are. Qualifying is on. All the blank spaces there are all Ford Mustangs. Each and every one of them is a Ford Mustang. And also there is the rotation. Obviously now nothing really works since the session best relative is still, well, not there, simply put. But in the tower you will see the delta from the fastest lap, the nationality, and the car being used. Now that no time is on, nothing will show up, but I'm sure I will forget if I don't keep it there. Josh Booby is the first car for us, and why not? Let's go for a dive in the Ford Mustang, very close into the walls. They have to hit the tires because the temperature is, well, it's good, but not great. 19 degrees air temperature, 23 is the track temperature. As we go now into the hairpin, into Ford's elbow, turn 18, and already behind you can see that's Sam Gaskell. I think it is Sam Gaskell. It is indeed Sam Gaskell. They are already following one another. Let's see if everything works. I think everything works. Speeds up to 280 km per hour to be exact. I think the Mustang can reach up to 286. Many cars reach 284. Depending on the setup, you can go for a high downforce setup to have a better car on the technical phase, second sector, or lower downforce to get the overtake done on the first sector, depending on whether you are quick or not, because essentially that's the whole part. Here we go, into turn 1, second gear, close to the apex, on the inside. Oh, that's a bit on the grass, maybe narrowly, but I don't think he lost too much time. Remember, 2 minutes lap times, so they haven't got a lot of time to work with their cars. As we now go into second corner, right-hander, banked, slightly banked, as Booby uses the wall. I was about to say uses the banking phase to get a better speed, but he actually tapped the wall a little bit as he goes into the hairpin, close as possible, as close as possible into turn 3 and 4, the cutting, and then flat out, because this is flat out, into 6, 7, 8, 9, into Frog Hollow. Little lift off, apparently a low downforce stop for Booby, as he goes over the infamous curb of destruction, as I like to call, and then downhill after Skyline into the dip from 12 to 17 with the heart on your throat, well, in your throat rather. Then another hairpin, this time it's Forest Elbow, and then another bit downhill, and then flat out to get into the high speeds. Into 285 kilometers per hour, I suppose. I can see the live speed here. I think Gasket is slightly quicker. But we'll see on the start-finish line. Obviously, nothing to get much excited for, since it's a first lap, and also it was a bit hampered by the wall, as Boopy still get pole position for about 11 seconds, as Kevin Tadei is now your leader, the car number 16. Mandzenko, apologies, is there in first place, the car number 8. Philip Minar is now in 8th place, after Boofby was effectively in front of Minar. Car number 1 still about to commit 100% to get the better time in the whole standings. As you can see in the tower, it's already very close. I think there is a slight possibility for Boofby to make it into pole, but Minar is also very quick. We can see him in corner straight. And I'm looking at this car because apparently he is 4 times quicker than himself. As Boofy gets pole position, 58.780. Can Minar get it? Indeed, he gets pole position by a tenth, slightly less than a tenth in front of Boofy. So it's a 1-2 for 255 competitions, as Mandzenko is in 3rd, with Tadej just following in 4th, and Kalashnikov in 5th place. As Delfante goes quicker than anybody else. Car number 5 with a 58.660. So as it stands, we have an NSX, 2 Mustangs, another Honda, 3 Mustangs, and then a Ferrari, which was, I think it was Tus Campanella, it was indeed Campanella for Visceral Esports. With a very nice livery there. Though I think it's... Not sure if it's the base one or not. Okay, definitely not. As it stands, Boofby is still not over with it. He's about to go over the main longer straight. Not the finish one. But he was in purple at the beginning of the straight, as Delphant is also about to ruin his own lap by going quicker. He's currently 3 times quicker than himself. But Delphant is still about 40 seconds. Now 30 seconds before crossing the finish line. And Boofby is just now crossing the line to get pole position, 58.562. And I couldn't pick up Mina. Mina is in second place, 58.575. But Delphant is still here and about to make progresses. And Deco is now in third. Can Delphant get P1? He does indeed get P1 with a 58.425. I don't know why certain liveries are not working. I have got my livery tool here, but for some reasons probably missing something. We'll check later on. Scaricas is now in 4th place with a nice Mustang livery. Another improvement is coming from here. 6th place as Tobias Gronwald for Team Nitro is currently improving. Not enough to get into pole, but even... Oh no! I think he just lost time by going sideways, so we can have a replay of what happened early on. Let's have a look from the Hericam. He just went... oh, he just went on the grass. I think he lost just enough time to miss. If not pole, I think... No, okay, it was probably P2. It was probably P2 for Gronwald, because he's still set at 58.5, he's still improved himself, but he's still in 4th. He is not here where Jeff Booby is about to start another lap. Let's see if another car is on its way. Madcap Racing here with Alex Knudsen. About to improve, but just enough. Then we've got a couple of other cars that are starting the lap. Nobody's really off sync. We have Capo here for Best Friends Esports. In the Ferrari. On the upper part of the circuit. Livery start working. Ah, okay. Stop and move. Yeah, certain liveries aren't working. I just suppose it's because of the new tool that just came out. It's nothing to worry about. Probably some teams and even myself, I will put myself in the list, did something wrong. I'll be honest on that. But I'm sure certain liveries are working because the Mustang wasn't in my PC prior to the race, to the qualifying, apologies. We are still following Poe here because he's 4 times quicker than himself. This would put him way up front. He's currently in 26th. He could get at least the top 20 as another car gets another position, because now it's 27th, but I missed it. Or rather, the race control is not showing me which one. As Paul goes only 20 seconds, so he just lost in the final corner because he was 4 times quicker. You can see that gap between the first and second lap is not even 3 times. So certainly something went wrong for Paul. Zonzik is now in 18th place. The car number 7 for Giorgia Community. And Delfante, you will not believe what I'm about to say, is already improving. Although his lap just started, he's 15 seconds into the lap. But never say never. We're currently with Line Iversen, 16th place, last car into the 58, and only half a second behind. Look at these gaps. 24 cars in a single second. 24 cars. You don't see these things in Formula 1. As the Bristol Sport driver, you can see a 58.9. It was the very first lap that was being made. He's currently 2 times quicker than himself. This could catapult the car into the top 10. He does indeed get top 10. He gets 9th, just behind by 2 milliseconds on Sullivan on the Mustang. Look at him. Look at him flying. Zooming, many may say. Anyway, for now, Delfante is literally on the same pace as himself. Bubi is also very close to making it into pole. He just improved by a 58.545, but it wasn't enough to get into pole. Delfante can still make it even more into his own time, as since he has a 10th, which doesn't seem like much. As he goes to 58.7. But a single 10th is the gap between Vubbi and Manzenko. That's 4 places. If you exclude Manzenko. Otherwise it's 5 places. Because effectively Manzenko is not really a 10th, it's a 10th and 10 milliseconds. But let's put him in the list. That's 5 cars then. Into the pits, that's Tobias Gronwald, so qualifying is over for him. Kalashnikov is into the pits, Line Iversen is into... No, okay, still going. But the standing is showing he's over with it. I'm not really sure about that. As he goes into the pits, yeah, he's definitely over with the qualifying session. Ramone stays still on the outside, so the Hoplite car is and will remain at least in 13th. Maybe someone else will improve. Many green sectors in front of my eyes. Currently Onzik is improving by 2 tenths. He sits in 18th at the moment. 59.0 is the best lap. A single 10th could put him in 16th. 2 tenths could put him in 13th. As you can see, Paul Sitter just in front, as Manzenko is now in 7th after Caracas gets 6th place and Gaskiel gets 3rd. So splitting the 255 competitions in half. Delfante is not improving at the moment. Maybe he can just have the last leap at the final corner. And Onzik is in 14th place in the car number 7. So slight improvement from 16th early on. See if there are any other... Oh, Sullivan gets an improvement by 2 tenths and he gets 7th place, just in front of Ilya Mandenko. So that's your top 10 with Delfante leading. In front of Bufbi, Gaskiel, Caracas, Minar. But we will get into the grid just as I get everything set up. I have to wait a couple of seconds, mainly because the tool has to update itself. Let's get back into what I'm searching for. I think my rate control. So let's see if the grid is already set. It is already set. The Italian job starts in first place in the Honda. Wolfby just behind in the 255 competitions by Go Setups. Sam Gaskell is in third. Unfortunately for the Mustangs, it's going to be this view or an outside one. Caracas will start in fourth. There are a lot of Mustangs, so this is a bit of an issue at the moment, as Grunwald is in sixth place, just behind Minar and Caracas, starting in fourth and fifth. Theo Sullivan in the Visceral Esports Mustang number 10 is in seventh place. And we have the Honda number 8 starting in 8th place. That's Ilya Manzenko for the Dive Bomb Squad Esports. Line Iversen is in 9th place. Then the Danish driver will start just in front of Kalashnikov in 10th place in the car number 20, the Mustang, just in front of a very dangerous car, let's say. Kevin Taddei, 11th place, the Italian will start for Visceral Esports in 11th, just next to Luis Fleischer. Car number 27 will start in 13th, that's Tom Gorka for Williams Esports. Hasonsik will start in 14th, in a very late leap, just in front of Axel Ramune for Uplight Esports team. The Frenchman will start in the car number 15 in 15th place. Djuknevicius, car number 34, the Veloce Academy car will start in 16th. Fabrizio Campanella will start in 17th for Visceral Esports. Marco Lomi, car number 13 for Gladius Competitions. I think it's the last car in the 58s, because the car number 18 starts with a 59.0. That's Michael Frey in 19th place. Joshua Gruning in the Visceral Esports Ferrari will start in 20th place in front of Seminara in the Mustang number 30. Tecinotti, all Italian for us, and Gladius Competition in the Ferrari. That's 22nd place for Cinotti. Knudsen, 23rd place in the Madcap Racing Mustang. Capo will start in 24th place, although in the car number 9, so theoretically a lot of positions will be made from him. Luke Edison will start in 25th place, Sasha Fasner in 26th, in the car number 6, in front of Van der Meer. The Dutch driver will start in the car number 31, in 27th place. Dustin Harpel, the German, will start in the car number 25 in 28th place, as Paweł Gadowski in the Aston Martin for Sucre Esports, 9.670, and then Lawrence Van Rossem, the Belgian driver for Unicorn Racing, just in front of Matteo Piccolo. In 31st, David Lindblom, the Swedish driver, will start in 32nd place. Samir Foch will start in the Mustang number 19 in 33rd, in front of Kevin Belik. Porsche driver start in 34th, in front of Alexander Kirk, car number 33, with a 2-minute 00.1, and then Claudio Zazza will be the last car on the grid, starting at the very tail in 36th place. 36 drivers. Long way to go, 60 minutes. Obviously, but to repeat. And Delfante is the first car in attracted. Usually, Ford Cup, yeah, pretty much. It's a bit of a Ford Cup, I'll be honest, Chief. Apparently, many chose for this track, well, for obvious reasons. You have a literal airport runway in length on the final section, so it's quite it's quite normal to see a lot of Mustangs. In fact, you will see the manufacturers. All the blank spaces are Mustangs. Look at this. The first 11 places, 9 are Mustangs, and 2 are Hondas. Or which one is in the first place, at the very least. And it's the Italian for the Italian job. But the Mustang is quick in a straight line. You can't really make much from it. The good thing for the Fante is that not only is ahead, theoretically it also has a quick car, but it should be quicker in the turns. And there is also the high probability that some drivers may have used the high downforce setup in the qualifying session. So maybe they will be slower in the technical section. Obviously, we will never know who is quicker in that section, who is slower in that section compared to the qualifying section. We don't know who changed the setup. Probably someone will have changed the setup, because realistically some may have gone for a whole downforce prompted, fully prompted to have the best speed possible in the corners and in the turning points. But I expect some to have gone for the full straight line experience for the race. A wing on zero, speed close to a GT4 in the turns, but you really make the overtakes in this section and the other straight. So you have to have a very good car in a straight line. But as I said, second round, match still to be declared. Last season we had our champion. One race before the end of the season, but we are just seconds away from the start of the race. As the 255 competition Mustangs are there in second, third, and fifth with Caricas in the Visceral Esports Mustang, but we are here for the second round of the season, first time in the GT3, in Bathurst, in what I expect it to be hell from the first second. As the green light approaches just now, and it's a very nice start for Delfante. Look at him already clear of Boothby behind, and then Gaskell about to not lose the position on Caracas, who was about to attack on the outside. And I see, oh, that's Manzenko already going for the position on Sullivan, who is now in 8th place. But we have to go on the very top of the standing, because Delfante is just there and he doesn't lose the position. He remains in the top of the standings, with Boothby just following behind. Look at this river of cars, 36 cars. Tadej goes 11th. As we go for the hairpin, that's Tobias Gronwald in 6th place, who sits behind Minar in 4th, who created a bit of gap with the car behind, sitting at 4/10 of a second, and then Manzenko another 5 behind in the lead. Situation still calm and normal. I don't seem... Yeah, there weren't incidents. I don't think there were many major incidents, and it was a pretty calm start of the race. to be fair. I expected way more mayhem. The only thing I see is Samir Foch at the very tail end of the grid. He lost a couple of spots. But for the better part of the grid, everything is pretty calm. Look at him, Delphante already going for the defensive move on Booby, even prior to... Oh, that's a bit of a lunge for Minar, who tapped Caracas on the Visceral Sport Mustang, and that's Gronwald going for two in a single shot. On the outside, can he aim for 5th place? He does so, little contact. Oh, there is a car in the wall! Oh, there is a car in the wall. That was Kalashnikov, who is now falling from the grid. Going into the wall, we'll see the replay after this overtake gets done as Caracas. Oh, there is another contact! This time it was between Gronwald and Minar, going for 5th place in the grid with a very aggressive Gronwald, nearly putting Minar into the grass. He actually did so, but thanks to Caracas giving him a bit of slipstream, he takes the position out of Gronwald's hands, and that's Minar in 5th place now, with Caracas 3 seconds behind Gaskell in 4th place. But we'll see the incident that just happened. It was a massive impact into the barriers for Kalashnikov. As you can see, Lomi that just gained the position on Manzenko, now in 15th place. He lost a tremendous amount of positions, as Fleischer in the Veloce car is still in 11th. Behind Honzik, who is now in 10th place. Oh, that's a little tap on the wall for Honzik, just behind Tadej, who is just following Shea O'Sullivan, who lost a couple of spots from the very beginning of the race. You can see on the bottom right of the screen the position delta for every time I put a car in live, and also you can see 3 other values. These obviously are the last 3 laps being set. Delphante now still partially clear of Boothby. He had Alpha 10th, Alpha 2nd at the very beginning of the straight. He now has 2 temps, clearly characterizing a very powerful machine on the straights. But Delphante may have gone for a bit of a cautious plan in the corners. Meanwhile, there is the overtake between Djuknevicius and Gorka, with Gorka losing the position on both Djuknevicius and Lomi, going on the outside. Oh, that's another contact between cars in the last corner. And that's pretty wide on the main straight, as Minar also lost a tremendous amount of positions. So we will see the replay, because I think there was an incident for Minar as he lost all the positions. He was in 5th, he's now in 9th place, but that's Marco Lomi and Axel Ramone and Fabrizio Campanella all going for the same position. Ramone is the car on the left who is losing thanks to the bump draft being in action for both the Mustang and the Ferrari that goes on the outside with a lot of delta in speed. He nearly crashes into the wall by doing so, and that's also Campanella now nearly going for the attack on... Oh, that's 2 cars colliding, and that's the Mustang into the wall. And that was Seminara going into the wall, ruining the right part of the Mustang, with Grüning gaining the place on the Italian, who is now in 19th place with tremendous amount of damage on the front end of the car. That's also Knudsen going for 19th place. He is in 20th at the moment in the pink Mustang, and behind it is K-Po in 21st place. Something happened to Minar, clearly. It's car number 4. We have a replay of the incident. Yes, there is. So this is what happened to Minar. The car number 4 is now in 9th, and possibly it's something related to last corner. It is indeed an overtake from the car number 17. That's Tobias Gronwald going a bit for the dive. Oh, that's a massive shunt into the wall for Minar. That's a massive shunt into the wall for Minar, who will now have massive difficulties in the main straight because of the damage. Seminara loses the position, the car number 24, another contact there between Knudsen and Seminara, as It's a side-by-side between Kipo and Knudsen going for the inside line, and that's Paul overtaking by surprise Knudsen, and now also Edison wants to make a place out of it, as there is also Matteo Piccolo and Sasha Wagner going for the bump draft, and the blue Ferrari is now just behind the Mustang in pink colors with, oh, that's another position lost for Piccolo, as the Frenchman lost the position on Wagner. Behind is Apple, going for a move in a very difficult spot, nearly going for the collision, but carbon fiber remains on the cars, and as it stands, it's all good, although with a lot of cars making contacts. I would like to retract my statement early on. Disaster was just about to start, and mayhem just sparkled on the second lap. There was also Kalashnikov, remember, that made a massive crash. In fact, the car number 20 is into the pits. Wonder if there is a replay. I think there is a replay. But unfortunately, too many things happened, so I can't show you the replay anymore, as Boothby is very close to the front. That will be for the lead, but as it stands, Boothby remains in P2. Gorka goes for 12th place on the inside of Djokovic and the car number 34, who has to give up the position. That was for 12th place, and Djokovic is now in 13th, just in front of Manzenko, who started 6 positions up ahead. He was in 8th place at the very beginning. Grunwald goes for the quickest lap of the whole 9 minutes, not even 8 minutes and 20 seconds that just passed. 59.055. As you can see, Gaskell and Wurby, will they play the team game or will they play the aggressive game? The survival of the fittest. Who is quicker goes ahead, as it stands. Buffy remains in 2nd place, Gaskell remains in 3rd, and Caracas keeps gaining time, because now the gap is 2 seconds, it was 3 seconds at the very early stages. And Grunwald is possibly using the car number 3 as a bit of a tow to get better lap times and also to get closer to the top 3, because Caracas is definitely gaining. He currently is in clean air, so that also helps. I wonder how much time will it pass from now to see a battle for first. Not among the top 3, but among the top 5. As Line Iversen, last lap it was a 9.3 for Iversen. Apologies, 9.4. 9.1 for Sullivan. 9.2 for today, 9.1 for Minar. As Onzik is in 10th place. The 9.5. The first car in the 0.5s. As you can see, Boothby, will it... Oh, this is a terrible camera. Will he try the overtake here? He doesn't try the overtake. He remains where he is in 2nd place, but it's clear that he wants to make the pass on the Italian driver, who is currently in clean air and can effectively dictate the pace, as long as he doesn't make mistakes on force elbow. But it is now Caracas and Grunwald, 59.0. Fastest car in the circuit so far. 2 milliseconds quicker than Caracas, who just set a 9.0. So these two are flying and are also getting very close to the car ahead. You can see Gaskell, how close he is. What's on camera? On Boothby, he probably thinks he has more pace, but he has to stay behind. This is a really good opportunity for the team. But Gaskell is probably looking at this. That car behind is getting way larger as the time progresses. The gap is now 1.5 seconds, 50% of what it was 10 minutes ago. As Sullivan, just behind the car number 23, is also very close to Line Iversen. In terms of overtakes, I don't think there are any happening at the moment. Well, there are a lot of close battles, that's for certain. You can see from the gaps. Look at the positions changes. A lot of green arrows. That's because of the cars that hit the walls on purpose or because of someone else. Well, not on purpose, obviously. As Booby is now very close to Delfante. I want to say not on purpose, but I missed that tiny bit. Last lap for Delfante was a 9.3, and then it was a 9.4 for Booby and Gaskiel. This time around, it was a 9.4 for Delfante and Booby, 9.3 for Gaskiel, who's already... Look at him. He is already going on the attack. I don't think he wants to play the team game. I don't really think he wants to play the team game. He has more pace. He is just hoping Booby receives the message. There is a high probability now. Look at them. Can they go side by side? No, they don't get side by side. Gaskiel is probably hoping for Booby to give the way of pass to Gaskiel, but Booby remains in second place, although he just lost a tiny bit of time. This is quite peculiar. Look at this gap right now, 8 tenths of a second. Remember it at the very end of the 1.6 kilometers long straight later on, because I really think Delfante has a better car for the technical part, which is a good idea since he is in clean air and he required it. Mustangs are unbelievably quick on straights, and especially on this hairpin. A whole 3 times and be gained only in this hairpin. And now the gap gets narrower and narrower. 4 times, 3 times. Expect we can get into the 2 times. Just now. Can he get into 1? He doesn't get it. Oh, the car number 29 is into the wall. Number 29 is into the wall. As today just went slow. I think it just went on the grass. Didn't go for the replay. Thinking there was an overtaking opportunity here for the duo. If not, we will see the 29 action in the replay. Don't think these two will change positions. These two will change position. Line Iversen loses the place on O'Sullivan. That's the team game for O'Sullivan and Line Iversen. The car number 10 now in 6th place. Unfortunately, with all Mustangs and certain cars without livery, sometimes I don't recognize certain teams, but these are all from the same team. O'Sullivan, Iversen, and Tadej. With Onzik, look at him, he's very close to Minar. Although, remember, Minar has front-end damage. This is what happened to the car number 29. Lawrence Farrosem. Oh, he just lost the rear. Oh, there's a lot of damage on the car. Yeah, that's the car done for the day. Heavy damage there as Booby is gone. Booby is not in the race anymore. Oh, there's a disconnection. Booby is out of the race. Massive championship implications. Booby out of the race as Caracas and Gronwald are battling for position with a lunge on inside for Gronwald, who instantly loses the position. As Gronwald is now in 3rd place. The car number 17, so Booby out of the race for a disconnection. As there was some contact. Let's see the action once more. As Gronwald was just behind the lounge, into the inside with good but fair aggression. And that's the podium for Grunwald. Well, okay, that's a bit... That's not extremely fair, I'll be honest. That was a bit too much aggressive. But now Grunwald is in 3rd place. Caracas sits in 4th. But they lost time. They lost a lot of time. They lost half a second in total. As Caracas set at 0.5 and Grunwald at 9.5, so actually he didn't lose too much time compared to the hotspots ahead. Because look at it, it was a 9.2 for Gaskell and a 9.3 for Delfante. So even with the overtake, that car really went places. Manzenko here, very close to Juknevicius. So everybody jumped a place, because Boothby is not in the race anymore. Now Ken Manzenko, car number 8, 13th place for Dive Bomb Squad Esports, make a dive bomb at the very end of the straight. Up ahead, Gaskell lost the toe, and this means Delfante now is clear of Gaskell by 8 attempts, and he can finally create the gap. Here we are for the possible pass for position as the Manzenko aims for the inside, but there isn't enough space. He doesn't go for the dive. He remains behind Juknevicius, the car number 34 for Veloce Academy is still in 12th place, as the main team is in 10th. Look at that. This is a bit of an odd sandwich, let's be real. Delfante and Honzik creating a Mustang sandwich on which every single car from 2nd to 8th is a Mustang. Meanwhile, Addison is now in 20th place with an overtake on the last corner on Knudsen. Caracas here extremely close to the car ahead, but they don't think any overtake will happen. Here Manzenko makes a bit of contact with Juknevicius, and Poe goes for the move on the inside. Never mind what I said, or maybe never mind what I said, I didn't have to mind, because Poe is still on the aggressive side of the road. There is still a chance for Poe to make a position on Seminara, who actually defends very well, and he stays in 18th place. Edison and Knudsen have a very VIP spot to see the battle ongoing. There was contact between Poe and Seminara. Seminara also has some damage, but he remains in 18th place. Look at Gaskell. Look at Gaskell, he's very, very close. I think Delfante made a mistake somewhere. Last lap around, 9.2 for Delfante, 9.0 for Gaskell, 9.2 for Grunwald, 9.1 for Caracas, and then O'Sullivan, 9.5. But look at how close Gaskell is at the moment. Delfante can have a very difficult time, because early on I said that there was a possibility a gap could have been created. And now I really think the opposite is going to happen. Already defending, Gaskell was about to make a move on the outside, which would have been odd, and in fact never happened. But it's clear Gaskell finally has 2nd place. Well, not in the way he hoped for, but he has it. And he can attack the Italian, who's still in clean air. He's still having a good time. Pit is now open, 20 minutes on which you can make your pit, and Addison was... Oh, he's still out! Addison is out, number 12, he's in the grass. Something happened here to the car number 12. Look at him go. I think there was some contact, but I'm not really sure, as there was a battle behind. Let's see, the Mustang goes for the... Oh, yeah, there was contact. Yeah, that was definitely contact with the pink Mustang. That's Addison off. That's Addison off. And this was a battle with Knudsen. Juknevicius and Manzenko. Bit of a slight tap on Juknevicius' car, and that's Gorka very close. Very close to Fleischer. That's 10th place now. After Booby disconnected from the race, he was in 2nd place at the DSC moment. In the dip, you can't really make a pass. Well, you can, but it's not advised. Then into the long straight as Poe gets the overtake done on Seminara. How and where? I really want to see it again. But later on. So I think there could be an overtaking opportunity for Line Iversen, which didn't happen, and it is an overtaking opportunity for Gorka, who goes on the outside and takes the position on Fleischer. And that's 10th place for Gorka. That's 10th place for Gorka. So I'd like to see also... Oh, that's Marco Rumi into the pizza. Car in 14th place, and even Seminara, car number 30. Into the pizza. Scarcas is still close to the car. Oh, Onzik, look at him! Minar only a 10th behind. Oh, 3, obviously. In this section, it's quite tricky to make a pass. Though Michael Frey is now on the outside. Can he make the pass on Lindblom? As that will be a very nice overtake. On the inside he goes. And that's 24th place for the Swiss driver. Michael Frey now in front of Lindblom. As I would like to see the overtake once more. On Poe, because he made an overtake on Seminara in a very odd spot. Was it a mistake by the Mustang driver? Oh, it was a, oh, that was a contact. That was a contact. Let's see it again. Ooh, that's a massive damage. Yeah, that's a lot of damage for Seminara. And I think there will be a penalty applied because that was clear that some contact happened between Poe and car number 9 and Seminara. Although it was very difficult to pick up because the race control didn't pick it up as a contact. Unless Seminara made a blunder. From the helicam it seemed like there was a contact, but race control doesn't register it as one. So we'll see afterwards. I will also like to see the penalty report, but at the moment I'm finding a very difficult time on which nothing happens to look at it, because there's a massive contact there for the position number 11. This was Duknevic, Fleischer and Manzenko, with one of the free cars going massively fast, massively quick into the wall. I'm not really sure what happened. It was... I think it was the Veloce car going full speed into the wall. Car number 34. Yeah, I have it here. There is a possible overtake for position between the 6 and the Veloce car. And the car number 26 at least remain in that spot. The number 12, he does so as Minar is into the pits. That was a massive shunt into the barriers. Yeah, look at him. He is very slow now as the Honda goes for the overtake. There is a little contact between the Honda and Fleischer, and Zmazenko is very keen on making the pass. Top speed difference is enough for Manzenko to make the move on the outside. Oh, there is another contact! Oh, that's Manzenko into the wall! Straight up into the wall! After a tap with the Ferrari driver, and that was very, very bad to see. Straight up, terrible situation there. Contact between Fleischer in the car number 26 and the Honda that was pushed into the grass, thrown into the wall, and that was a DNF. That is a DNF for Manzenko. And also Seminara, DNF for him too. So I'd like to see the incident that happened early on. Should be this one here. It really isn't. I suppose it is this one. So this was the contact between the Veloce and the Honda driver. Look at this. Fleischer stays on inside, then goes back on the outside. Contact between the two. The Honda goes into the grass, straight up into the wall, and that's the DNF for the Honda driver. As the top two still leads the way for everybody else. Now the gap between Gasquet and Grondval is 3 seconds. These two have maintained the same 4 times for the whole time, as many cars are into the pits now. I think I also found so this was a prior incident between the two cars, always in turn 1. It was just a tap, okay, no, never mind. I thought it was the contact with the wall, which unfortunately I can't really find. Race control didn't pick it up. As Lomi is here in 24th place, just behind Minar. They already made the stop. They both remained in the pits for 30 seconds. Lomi without damage repair. There were 5 seconds of damage repair for Minar after the contact with the wall at the very beginning of the race. And now these two are battling for position. Ooh, that was a bit of a mistake for Lomi, who lost a tremendous amount of time on Minar, who is now 1.5 seconds ahead. Also, there is a possible overtake here between Fleischer in the Veloce Ferrari and the Campanella in the other Ferrari, but for Visceral Esports. Reminder that Fleischer has a good chunk of damage on the front end of the car and side. After the contact with the wall. As Shio Sullivan is now back on the racetrack and also making a position On line Iversen, although that's probably team order, with line Iversen giving the position to O'Sullivan. That is technically 15th, but after the pits, he should be about 7th place. As Grunwald is very much behind, he's in 20th place, even behind Ramone, and that is possibly Let's see. Give me the race. So Grunwald received a 5-second penalty for a collision with the car number 17 and a 10-second penalty for a collision with I don't know who, for a collision on lap number 2. So it was 15 seconds penalty for Grunwald. That's why he's so much behind on schedule. So let's go on for penalties. Edison received a warning. Mina received a 5-second penalty for forcing on the car off track. So Mina's day is not really bright at the moment. Campanella received a 10-second penalty. Number 8 received a 5-second penalty. The number 8 is... Oh, that's a pass for position. That's Grunwald going on inside. That's the car number 17. That was... Oh, a bit too much of a lunge from Grunwald. Ramone gets back ahead in front of the penalized Mustang, who received a 15-second penalty for incidents early on. Stade is also extremely close to line Iversen now. He just came out of the pits. So I was saying the number 8, which is nowhere. Can't find it. I don't even have the name, so I can't really say it because it's not shown on the penalty scoreboard. Van der Meer 5-second time penalty for moving and braking. Tom Gorka warning for avoidable contact. Knudsen received a 15-second penalty for the contact with Edison early on. Fleischer, you will not believe it, drive through for the collision. Drive through for the Veloce car. Massive penalty for the Veloce race car, with Fleischer now in 4th, but he just took his drive-through early on. Maybe he still has to take it, I'm not sure. Grunwald goes again for the pass. That's Ramone this time behind the Mustang number 17. That's 14th place at the moment for Tobias Grunwald, the fastest car on track. But I'm really doubtful he will have a win out of it. Gaskell just came out in front of Delfante. Can it be the battle for the lead? As it right at up. Oh, the Mustang brakes very late with cold tires. And that's Delfante losing the place on Gaskell on the pit cycle. These are massive race implications with Gaskell that has the quicker car on the straights, now ahead of Delfante, and it wasn't even a better pit stop. It was the same 32.5 seconds for both Delfante and Gaskell. It was a better pit entry/exit. It was 2 tenths only the difference between the two. The only difference is that one pitted before the other, and it was Delfante that was already out on track, so realistically there was an issue for Delfante on the outlap rather than the pit lane phase. As now Campanella, being the last car still on the road with old tires, so the pit stop window is completely useless now. So now the Italian is effectively in second place, with Gaskell leading the race for the 255 competition by Go setups. And Carcass gained a lot. The Visceral car is now in third, just behind this duo, after the penalty applied to his rival, and that's Minar going for the move on Djokovic. Oh, there was a car going completely off the track. That was Marco Lomi missing completely in the braking spot and losing a good chunk of time. And also position. That's Grunwald passing Lomi, who just went straight on the chicane. Now he has also dirty tires, and this could put Ramone in a advantageous position on straight line. Unfortunately for Ramone, he just went on the grass, so realistically he lost the opportunity to make the position on the mountain straight. As you go back for the top, oh, that's the wrong camera. Top 3 spots. This is the podium. This is the whole podium. Don't think any overtake will happen here, as Poe made the pass on Grüning. And Caracas are extremely close to Del Fante, so it's quite clear that Gaskell will have a good time staying up front with a better car on the straights. After making the position on simply a better pace overall, or maybe for a mistake out of Del Fante's outlap. Also another penalty applied. It was a 5 seconds penalty. The decision for the car number 14, which will receive a 5-second penalty after the race, since pit stops already happened. Can Caracas make the moves? Gaskell now has 7 times of gap to the front. Remember that the slipstream is not really that long. Usually it's 8 times, after which the slipstream loses a lot of its effectiveness. As you can see, the Fante very close to Gaskell's wing, as Addison makes the position on Piccolo. Remember that theoretically Del Fante is quicker on the turning phase, so on the corners, rather than the straight line speed. And it's quite clear that in dirty air the car suffers, has lost a good chunk of time, and now Del Fante is a second behind Gaskell. The pit window is now closed. Nobody has to go into the pits anyway. We start with 36 cars. 32 currently ongoing. Well, 31 to be fair, since Kalashnikov never came out of the pits. So I think Gaskell has clean air to, well, obviously he has clean air. I meant for the battle with Del Fante, because Del Fante is not really gaining. If anything, he's losing. 9.1 for Gaskell, 9.2 for Del Fante, 9.5 for Caracas. As Ramone in 14th place, now behind Marco Lomi. After Lomi went basically straight in the chase. And and came back just ahead of Ramone. By also losing 2 seconds on Grunwald, who, remember, he still is 9.0 last lap, fastest lap of the race so far for Grunwald, but unfortunately he received a 15-second penalty in total. And he now sits 20 seconds behind the leader. There is another battle, this time it's between teammates, as Sullivan and Lane Eversen and Tadej. All 3 cars are from the same team, Visceral Esports. And I wonder if any battle will effectively happen in the 4th spot. The last lap for Sullivan and Eversen was a 9.3. Tadej made a 9.1 and is currently getting very close to this duo. For the moment it remains how it is. Although little reminder that Sullivan gained a position on Lane Eversen because of a team order. So maybe Sullivan will give back the position to Lane Eversen. Kevin Tadej, fastest lap of the race so far, 8.8. Okay, that was quick. That was extremely quick. It was a 9.0 the earlier fast lap. It is an 8.8 for Tadej. He gained 4 tenths on Lane Eversen. He gains 5 tenths on Sullivan. And effectively 2 tenths on Delfante and Gaskell. But now the Gaskell lost some time on Delfante. Possibly a mistake for the British driver. As it stands, this trio remains as it is. Ramone, on the other hand, still behind the Italian. And very keen on making a pass. It was a 9.8 for Ramone, it was a 9.6 for Lomi. Oh, wait, something happened here. Something happened to Tadej, because now the gap is 1 second. So what happened? Oh, the wall, don't hit it! Okay, had to slow down massively after going wide. He lost some time. But I don't think it was a tremendous situation considering the 2 cars ahead are his teammates. Have a look at the very top of the field. As it stands, Gaskell still has a good advantage on Delfante, but it seems like Gaskell is either managing or losing on Delfante, as now Caricas is a 2.5 behind. Compared to early on, quite the drop for the Visceral car. 3 different teams in the first 3 spots. It was a 9.3 for Gaskell, it was a 9.0 for Delfante. It would have been the fastest lap of the race so far if it wasn't for Tadej going 1.7 times quicker. Delfante extremely close to Gaskell on the hairpin, but obviously nothing can really happen out of here. Minar, after a repaired car, is very aggressive. He probably wants some positions back. He's now in 10th. He was starting in 5th place. After the contact with the wall, he dropped in 11th, or rather in 9th, because he was in 11th, then gained a couple of spots. And now the Mustang driver is in 10th. After losing the position on Juknevicius because of the repairs. Pasner is also in 17th, just behind Grüning. And then there is a Good battle for 18th place between Frey and Cinotti, with Addison just following behind. 13 minutes till the end, and Matteo Cinotti is battling with Frey. It was a very close certain point, although this car is very damaged. A lot of wounds for Wasner at the moment, who is on Frey at the moment. As Wasner is going for the overtake on Gruning, and that's car number 6 making a position on Gruning for 16th place. And Cinotti will possibly do the same on inside as he goes on the chase. He follows the car number 18. Well, not really by his own choice, but he had to follow the car ahead, and the car number 12 is now very close to Cinotti. Addison extremely keen on making a pass on the Italian. And I really think that Frey has a good opportunity to defend, since the gap is not that little. And ironically, Matteo Cinotti had to defend against Addison, who nearly losing the rear end for the Italian, going nearly sideways into turn 2. And now into the technical section, so effectively nothing will change in this part. Line Iversen on the other side of the circuit, and Kevin Taddei follow O'Sullivan. It's the car number 10. Last lap it was a 9.6 for O'Sullivan and Line Iversen and Taddei, compared to a 9.2 for Caracas, 9.1 for Delfante, 8.9 for Gaskell. Just narrowly missing out of the fastest lap by a single tenth, as Taddei still holds the purple lap. This was a 9.2 for both Gaskell and Delfante, 9.5 for Caracas. So Caracas effectively putting an end to the fight for first place with 10 minutes to go. These two are not over with it. These two are still battling for the very top position. Remember that Gaskell was behind and gained the place out of the pits thanks to a poor outlap from Delfante. The Italian was behind Gaskell as he made its way on the racetrack, and that was some contact between these two, as Addison was going on the inside line on Cinotti, who went on the gravel and nearly lost the car. Nearly lost the car altogether. Cinotti, Piccolo, Van der Meer and Fleischer now in 23rd. He was in the top 10 early on. The drive-through clearly during this race. As many cars are damaged because of the wall. Cinotti goes on the grass on one of those dangerous points of the circuit. It's Van der Meer and Fleischer behind him, Piccolo. Oh, that's the Honda losing the rear, nearly going on snap oversteer, and the number 31 missed the demolition of its own race by a nudge. Number 31 still here, just behind Piccolo. Van der Meer has a good chance on the inside line. He doesn't commit for the attack. With 8 minutes to go. This time the Honda has a good opportunity in the mountain straight, and again the Honda doesn't commit. Matteo Piccolo, the Frenchman, still has a good car into the straights. And can remain in 21st place, just in front of Van der Meer and Fleischer. After Miller, oh, Miller went into the wall. I think he went into the wall because he lost the position all of a sudden. Oh no, it was Gronwald going for a very aggressive move on the hairpin. And this was top 10 overtake for Gronwald, as the battle between Raune and Lomi still goes on. This is for 12th place, just behind Mina and Gronwald, as the 15 gets the inside line, and that's Raune getting into 12th place. The car number 15 is now just ahead of Marco Lomi, with an attack that started on the chase section on the chicane, and ended just here into the main start-finish straight. I'm still looking ahead because this is still 1-2 for Delphante and Gaskell, with Caracas, who is now 3.2 seconds behind, effectively choosing to bring the car home and effectively to avoid any useless risk. Delphante is still quick and aggressive. 9.1 for both drivers. Gaskell and Delphante are lapping pretty 5 times quicker than anybody else, but Honzik, who just put on the Australian racetrack the fastest personal lap with a 9.2, as Frey lost the place on Addison for 18th place. The contact apparently. Oh, that's a slightly sideways, and also contact with Addison for Michael Frey, who also cracked the car on the wall, and likely will see his own position being lost on Cinotti's car. The main corner straight. As you can see, the Italian choosing the outside and actually remaining behind. It was actually Frey nearly going for the overtake on Addison in a very aggressive attempt. He stays there in 19th place, and that's the car number 28, nearly going for a move on Frey. That's up to a 0.2.9 for Frey. Obviously, lap being damaged by the massive contact with the wall that possibly ruined the front aero of the Ferrari. And just behind, there's Matteo Piccolo and Ulrich Van der Meer, as Porsche and Lindblom also made a pass, and that's a long way to go for these drivers, because a lot of overtakes are happening here. Van der Meer and Matteo Piccolo changed positions, with Van der Meer now in 21st and Matteo Piccolo just behind. Luis Fleischer is just following, and there was also a change between Lindblom, Herpel and Foch. As also Line Iversen still remaining where he is. As more contact happens here, the Mercedes-Benz loses the position on Samir Foch for a brief second. Not even. He remains in 25th position. As is still keeping the battle alive with Frey. And Van der Merwe is now 2.3 seconds, so clearly a mistake by the Honda driver. I'm also looking at the top end of the leaderboard, because Gaskell and Delfante are very close with each other. Frey somehow still maintains the position on the Italian driver. Whereas here the battle between Piccolo, Fleischer and Van der Merwe still goes on with the Veloce car that, remember, had a drive-through early on, so this is why they are so much behind. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, possibly 2 laps. As the two heads are only 4 tenths apart with each other, Gaskell and Delfante. As the leader takes the white flag. Brought to you by Lowfield Motorsport. So 2 minutes to go effectively. And likely this will be the end result for the top 2, unless Delfante creates effectively magic opportunity, which I don't really know where that could happen, apart from, well, here, the chase. As you can see, Delfante 9.3 the last lap, 9.292 for Gaskell, only 8 milliseconds quicker. I really think this has been a fantastic battle, or rather a chase between the two, with overtake only happening at the end of the pit exit for Gaskell. Now into the main straight. Into the Conroe straight and then the chase, with only Morris corner after that. This is car number 2 that started in 3rd place behind George Boothby, and after the disconnection was the top attacker of his squad, and he made the job perfectly by winning the round number 2 of the Case King Dodi Pro Series, just in front of Delfante, just 7 tenths behind. Caracas 5 seconds behind, and O'Sullivan completed the race in 4th, with 15th, 6th being taken by Line Iversen and Tadej. Honzik gets 7th, Gorka gets 8th, Djugnevičius gets 9th place, and Gronwald completes the race in top 10, in front of Minar, Ramune, Marc Colomi, just half a second in front of Campanella, Poe in 15th, with Vassner in 16th, Gruning in 17th, Edison in 18th, Michael Frey in 19th, Cinotti in 20th, still behind Frey, although with a massively damaged car, so kudos on Frey. on making it in front of Ginotti, Van der Meer behind Piccolo, then Fleischer in front of Herpel, Lindblom in 25th, Foch in 26th, Kirk in 27th, Belik in front of Gadowski with Zaza and Van Rossem, completing the race in 31st place out of 36 drivers that started. The race, so you have to just for the replay. I can go here. And oh, never mind. Can I at least show you one car? Okay, well, I would like to put okay. We just put the standings on, because I think it's already done. Let's see if they are. On, so these are still about to be updated. These ones is about the no, they are still not going on. We still have to wait for the update. Yes, we still have to wait for the update. But this was a very interesting race. 60 minutes at Bathurst, a lot of action during the whole hour. As I'm still waiting for it to be counted. I have to wait a couple of seconds. But your winner in the race was the car number 2, Sam Gaskell. Very unfortunate for Ruby that had a disconnection. No, not yet. Okay, so as I was saying, great race by all of the drivers. Let's put away the tower. You can see Sam Gaskell winning in front of Delfante by not even 4/10 of a second, and Caracas following, O'Sullivan in 4th, Iversen in 5th, and Tadej in 6th, all of which are of the same team, Caracas, O'Sullivan, Iversen, and Tadej. So good lock-up for the Visceral team. Honzik in 7th, Gorka in 8th place, with Jukinevicius in 9th, and Gronwald in 10th place after the penalties. Winner in 11th, Ramune in 12th, with Lomi in 14th place for Gladius competitions. Campanella in 14th, Poe in 15th, with Wasner in 16th, Gröning in 17th, Addison in 18th, 15 seconds behind, with Frey, Cinotti, Van der Meer, Piccolo, and unfortunately to see the rest, okay, I can just go here. Fleischer, Lindblom, Herpel, Foch, Kruk, Belik, Gadowski, Zaza, Van Rossem. All the other cars DNF'd early on. I still want to see my standings updated. I can't, apparently. makes me very sad. It takes some time. Yeah, interesting race, that's for certain, as we have our third place driver. We just put their car in front of you. Ooh, it's a mistake. Okay. So you have Grantas Caracas. Oh. Okay, way better. In the commentary box, hello Grantas, and congratulations for the podium. So you had the podium with your team that basically had your shoulders covered for the whole time, since the whole team practically went third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And I think it was a really nice team effort. So was your third place also thanks to their help, or was it on an on-our-own kind of situation?
Well, always as a teammates, we practice in the same server, so we help each other to, go faster, especially, share setups and, do some changes together and work on it. Mostly it was me just changing stuff, but yeah, and with all my teammates, I worked also with the setup. So I think, yes, of course, team effort, I think the setup definitely helped to achieve this great result for the team. Great work, great practice. So yeah, very happy with how the team done and how I've done also.
So now you got third place. I think you still aim for the win for this season. Do you think it's a realistic shot, or do you think it's going to be difficult to get the win?
Well, of course, you always have a shot when you try and have good pace, and of course at the same time it's gonna be very difficult. I'm gonna try my absolute best to try and achieve that. If it doesn't work, it's okay, because this series is just so competitive. It's like you have to put so much work, so much practice into it if you want to be towards the top. So yeah, it's gonna be very difficult. It's one of the hardest championships in ACC, but I will try my best.
And the final question: how was driving the Mustang in the mountain?
It's pretty good. Quite fun in some places, quite unfun, if you can see it like that. Understeers in some corners where like compared to Ferrari, it doesn't, because I'm used to Ferrari, so it was kind of hard to get used to it Ford at first, but yeah, it's very fast, insanely fast, insane pace, and yeah, very competitive overall.
Okay, so Grandas, I just have to tell you good luck for the rest of the championship, and I hope you get the win that you are effectively reaching for. Congratulations
Yeah,
for the podium, and have a good evening.
yeah, thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Now our second place holder with Eric Delfante for the Italian job. Welcome in the commentary booth. And you just missed out of the win. It was very close with the Honda, and you were effectively one of a kind, considering you were the only Honda in the first 7 places. And how difficult was it to effectively compete against the, let's say, the meta car, which was the Mustang in this round?
Good evening, guys. Yeah, it was very difficult, but I have to say also my car was pretty fast, especially in qualifying. I can do the lap time. I can say easy. It's not easy, but yeah, I had that time, and was only to put it together and do it. So I'm very happy. And then in the race, yeah, I was a bit slower, like Chetas, compared to the Mustangs, but I try my best. I know in the pit stop I can lose a bit of time because the restart of the Honda is slower than the Mustang, so I know I can lose one position, but then I try to put pressure, but Sam was exceptionally good, and we know him very well. so strong. He deserves it.
Yeah, effectively, you already previewed my question that was how did you lose the position in the pits? Because effectively, that's where you lost it. Was it because of a mistake in the pit lane, or was it a mistake on the out lap, or even the in lap? Which part effectively made you lose 3 attempts, which was effectively the gap between you and your opponent?
No, I think I did the perfect pit stop, but yeah, the car was a bit on the restart. It's very slow on the restart, and then in the out lap with cold tires, I think I lost also a bit, but it's normal. In this track, the overcut is always very powerful, so I kind of expect it, and I was very close, but wasn't enough to overtake him.
And final question, since you effectively arrived by literally nothing away from the win, 3 times to be exact, you probably think that the win is an achievable goal, or do you think it's going to be... Okay, never mind. Already cut it short.
But I have to say, probably without the crash of Boothby, I would finish P3. So I was lucky with that, and I'm also sorry for him because he was very, very fast. But yeah, I got lucky with that situation.
Okay, so congratulations for your P2. Sorry.
Also, I have to say thanks to my team, especially Guido, who's doing always a really good job, a motivational job, we can say.
You may say an Italian job.
Yeah,
Never mind.
you can say like that.
I will fire myself. Anyway, thank you for having the time to get in the commentary booth, and congratulations for the P2, and obviously good luck for your P1, because I'm sure you will have another shot, and I can't wait to see the battles coming out of your... If you will stay with the Honda for the whole championship, or maybe with the Porsche, because there is also another one make at the very middle point of the championship. So
yeah,
good luck for the rest of the championship.
Thank you so much, and have a nice evening.
Good evening. As that was Eric Delfante for the Italian job. And next up is obviously our winner. As Eric mentioned, there were 2 of them, and then he remained the only spear for the 255 competition by Ghost Setups, but he still won the race. Welcome in the commentary booth, Sam. Congratulations for the win, and nice job.
Thank you.
So, effectively, the first question is going to be related to what happened to your teammate. How was it? How was the challenge of being the sole spear instead of going for a double attack after your teammate effectively disconnected from the race?
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of, I kept my head down, tried to stay with Delfante, and then wanted to get the overcut, which I did. I really didn't expect him to get in the pits, I'll be honest, because I had to fuel save a bit, because I was like 0.1, 0.2 short.
It was slightly short.
Yeah, really, really short. So I was like, oh, this is going to be sketchy. And then, yeah, surprisingly, I managed to get ahead. I don't know what he did in the pits. I haven't checked the replay. But yeah, really happy. I mean, when George started disconnecting, he was lagging about all the time. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen here. He either hit me off track or he could just disappear instantly. So yeah, that was a bit scary. But yeah, managed to get it done and very happy.
And obviously, the Mustang kind of took the show of this round. How was it as a platform in the mountain? Was it more powerful, like in terms of setup? You don't have to tell me the secrets, but was it more downforce prompted, or was it more speed, absolute speed prompted to get the best out of the straights?
I'd say, to be honest, it's one of those tracks where both work, especially in these temperatures. In some cars, you can go quite low wing and get away with it, and in some others, you can go quite high wing, especially some of the monsters on the straight, Nissan, Ford, etc. But I mean, yeah, car felt planted. Didn't really feel anything like was out of place. Setup felt good. Apart from that, was all chill throughout the entire race and qualifying.
And final question, obviously now you reached the win, but I'm quite sure you want more of them. Do you think, since I can't ask you if you think you will have a win since you just had it, do you think the championship is a possible chance or an ambitious goal?
Like Grant has said, it's definitely one of the hardest championships on ACC at the moment. So getting that championship win is difficult. I've already got 2 P2s under my belt, so yeah, I'm confident, but it's going to be difficult. And to be honest, obviously I want more wins, but I'm definitely going to have to put in a lot more effort than I did this round, because to be honest, the whole of last week I was in France, so I was away, and then didn't really bother to practice much until like maybe late yesterday and early the day before. So I was kind of happy definitely with the result, but yeah, I mean, like Grant has said, it's always on, but you really got to put the effort in.
Well, luckily you didn't practice much. I can't imagine what would have happened if you had more practice on your head.
Yeah, I don't think I would have been much faster, but yeah, it's definitely better with more prep, that's for sure.
Okay, so congratulations for the win, and I will look forward for many more to come, maybe.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And that was Sam Gaskell for 255 competition. Now the standings are updated. Eric Delfante is at the very top of them all, with Kevin Tadei following, Tobias Grönwald in 3rd, Campanella, then Wasner, Fleischer in 6th, Rakhmatov, Cinotti, Gadowski, Fox and Kruk in 11th place, with all the others following. Obviously it's a long championship. It's well, let me just show you. Okay, as you can see here, 12 rounds, 3 drop rounds, and so this means the best 9 races will be counted. At the moment the standings are a bit shuffled, let's say, but never say never. 3 drop rounds, so there is still a lot of play zone, and also there are the double header, which are 20 and 40 minutes, which will give 40% and 60% of the total points that you receive in a 60-minute race. And then there are also the one make, well, just one now, after the Ginetta in Nürburgring. It's a Watkins Glen round with Porsche Cup. These were the results. One final time. If they want to work. So apparently they decided they want to go on. Wait, maybe. Okay, now they work. So you can see Gaskell 1400 points, Delfante behind, Caracas, O'Sullivan and Line Iversen in 5th place, with Tadei, Honzik, Gorka and Aydin took it in time. And these are the standings if you want to see them one more time. I am Chris Romano. This was the round number 2 of the Case King the Pro series. Next week it's going to be John Wright in the commentary booth. And in any case, the championship will go on, and as I said, 10 more rounds to go, and still a lot of fun on the table. In any case, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Bye!